I'm Anna, and this is the PF Highlight Reel. In this episode of the PF Highlight Reel, we turn our focus to the pool. We shine the spotlight on a grade 12 student who has surged through the waves to qualify for the OFSA Provincial Swimming Championships for the second year in a row. Today I'm talking to Anna Holton about the passion, dedication, and experiences that have propelled her to the pinnacle of high school swimming. Let's start by talking about your journey into competitive swimming. How long have you been swimming, and what initially drew you to the sport?
I've been swimming since I was about 9, so for about 8 years now. And I don't know, when I was younger, a lot of my friends started doing channel cats, including you. And I asked mom to sign me up, and I just started loving it immediately.
Training to be a competitive swimmer is notoriously difficult. Describe your weekly training routine.
We have about 9 practices a week. We have Monday morning, Tuesday morning weights, Tuesday night swim. We have a double on Wednesday, so it's a swim in the morning and a swim at night. Thursday night swim, Friday morning weights, Friday night swim, and Saturday morning swim.
How has your training routine evolved to reach your current level of performance?
Well, there's multiple levels in channel cats, so as you progress through the levels, you have more practices that you do. So I guess now that I'm in the highest level gold, which I've been in for about 4 years now, I'm doing a lot more practices than I was doing obviously when I was 12 or 11. But also, as you get older, you can do extra things outside of swimming to make you better. So sometimes me and my teammates will go do extra weights, or we'll go for runs, or even sometimes go for rows just to improve.
You are also a high-achieving student. How do you balance the demands of academics, swimming, and other commitments?
That is definitely a very difficult aspect about being a student athlete, because with being a student athlete, you have to really manage your time well and also have your priorities straight. So for example, sometimes I'll have to skip a practice to do homework or to study for a test or an exam. It just comes with a lot of definitely sacrifice, I would say.
A lot of athletes have role models. Who is someone that has inspired you?
People that have inspired me are probably some of the older people that have graduated. I remember I would always look up to them and always think they're the cool older people who I'd want to be like. So people like Holly and Blythe, just very really amazing athletes, but very humble and just kind people. That's who I'd want to model myself after.
Successful competitive athletes usually have a good team that supports them. Who are some of the people who have supported you?
I would say my teammates are very supportive. Everyone's just so kind to each other. We're always there for each other. After all our races or even at a hard practice, we would all just encourage each other. My coach also is very encouraging. She's always there to talk about anything at practice, and also at competitions to give race strategies, or to just, if you had a bad race, just talk you through it. My friends and family also are very supportive. They'll come and watch me compete, like you and Kennedy, and that's always very nice and supportive.
What do you think about when you're in the water, either training or racing?
So during training, I'm supposed to be thinking about my technique and telling myself what to do properly. But usually I just think about random stuff or sing a song in my head. But during a race, it's a little bit different because my coach will give me things to think about before my race and to focus on. So just little technical things like that. Yeah, I'm usually a bit more focused during a race.
What is your favorite stroke to race and why?
I feel it's definitely changed over the past couple of years. I remember when I was younger, I really liked doing fly. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of moved away from that, and I've been doing a lot more back and free. I like doing 200s a lot, but I also like 100s. So 100 free, 100 back, or 200 free.
What is a memorable moment or achievement that stands out for you as a swimmer?
Definitely the last year's banquet when I was chosen to be one of the team captains. That just feels like a really big honor to me to have a prominent leadership role on my team.
Every athlete encounters challenges. What is a challenge that you have faced as a swimmer?
I think that COVID and being in lockdown definitely affected a lot of athletes, but I feel especially swimmers, because if you miss one practice or even 2 days of swimming, the next time you get in the water, you feel like a literal brick. So it's really hard to keep up if you're not doing practices. So being in lockdown really, I would say, set back a lot of swimmers because we're out of the water for so long. And it really set me back personally, I feel, because lockdown was at a time when I was 13 or 14, and that age is when a lot of swimmers are really reaching a peak, because that's your kind of prime growth. So a lot of swimmers have breakthroughs around that time, and I feel like I didn't really get to experience that because of lockdown. So I feel like I missed out on a lot of progress that could have been made. But yeah, I would say that was definitely a challenge.
How did you navigate and overcome this challenge?
At the time of lockdown, I didn't really see it as a challenge because I was like, oh, like time off, yay. But getting back into the water, I realized how much of a challenge it really would be to get myself back to where I needed to be and where I was. So as soon as we were able to go back to swimming, I just worked really, really hard and didn't really miss any practices, really just like tried my best every single day, pushed myself really hard, and just kind of had to trust the process and trust that I would be able to get back to where I was or even better because of how hard I was working.
How has overcoming this challenge impacted your outlook on swimming or life in general?
For swimming, I feel like it's definitely made me not take any practices for granted. Like, I remember before, I would always think kind of negatively about going to practice, like, oh, it's going to be so hard, whatever. But now I try to be more positive about it because I know that it was taken away from me for so long. So I just really need to be positive about that. So it's made me change in that way. But in life in general, I think like COVID and being in lockdown has made me appreciate so much of the things that we have more, like going to school and being able to go to practice because we weren't able to have those things. So, yeah.
How do you think your experiences as a competitive swimmer have shaped you as an individual?
I think being a competitive swimmer and just having so much practice in general has really made me a dedicated person. Like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it because like, you just have to commit to something. You just got to be committed to actually get better. Also, I feel like it's made me have really good time management skills because having to balance everything is definitely hard with the amount of practices that we have and also having friends and school. And I think it's also made me like really determined, like having a goal and working hard to achieve that goal.
What are your goals for the upcoming OFSA championships?
I definitely would like to be in the A final, so top 8. But my main goal, I would say, is to just kind of have fun. It will be my last OFSA, so I just kind of want to enjoy it, and just have fun and do my best.
What are your goals for the future?
Well, I'm definitely hoping to go to university next year for some sort of science, health science, or kinesiology. Potentially swim for whatever university I go to. But yeah, I don't really have too many goals, just kind of see where life takes me.
If you could give advice to any high school athlete, what would it be?
Definitely enjoy your sport as you have it now, because being in my last year, it's kind of sad knowing that it's going to come to an end kind of soon. So just appreciate it while you're able to do it and just work hard and do your best.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and talk to me. I really appreciate it, and I feel like I learned a lot of you as a swimmer, just in general.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Watch Anna compete at the OFSA Provincial Swimming Championships and the preliminary heats of the 200-meter freestyle and the 100-meter backstroke events on Tuesday, March 5th.
That was so cool! I didn't get your dive though, sorry. I just want these sent to myself. I don't want these on the highlight reel.